Imagine if even the hardest thing you had to do became as easy as scrolling on your phone. It would be insanely easy for you to get a lot of work or studying done. I'm Salim, I've just finished medical school, but I've spent 8 years at university and I've developed a system for accessing deep focus so I can study and still do all the other things I care about in life. And a good way to describe deep focus is comparing it to playing a video game or playing an instrument. You get into a state where you aren't distracted by other thoughts or procrastinating on what you have to do. You're fully present in the moment with the challenges that you have, whether it's beating a boss or finding the next passage to play. The key thing here is that you're in the zone of proximal development, where things are not too challenging but not too easy. They are perfectly in balance. And there are 3 key elements of play which drive you to become completely engaged, and we can use them to manipulate your focus to make anything easy. So the first way to access deep focus is about feedback loops. The reason why you stay engaged, whether you're playing a video game, an instrument, or a sport, is that you know exactly when something has gone wrong or right. You get positive reinforcement when something goes well, whether it's that you hear a sound or get a point, and you know exactly when you've made a mistake. You might hit the wrong note or lose a point, and that's what keeps you engaged, because you are consistently trying to keep getting positive reinforcement and avoid negative reinforcement. So the first key to getting deep focus is to have quick feedback loops. So for studying, that looks like doing questions and marking them soon after, or using flashcards to see what you know or don't know, so that the loop resets and you can keep on going. Keep score so you can give yourself points even if there isn't a built-in point system. Then you can make your studying feel like you're playing a game, and that will keep you fully engaged. One simple thing I've encouraged clients is to keep track of how many flashcards or topics they've covered in a day and compare that to what they were aiming to do, and it's helped them keep a good streak of work going. The next way to develop deep focus is related to how challenging it is. As I said before, you need to be in the zone of proximal development, so things can't be too easy or too hard. So imagine you're learning to play a piece on piano, but you're just a beginner. You can't just start on a grade 8 piece, it's too hard so you'll get distracted. But if someone tells you to practice the songs you already know, it's too easy so you'd probably get bored. The ideal scenario is that you give yourself something that stretches you just a little bit until you get to the next level, and then you keep trying to stretch yourself. So if you're good at grade 1, only grade 2 will keep you engaged. Anything too difficult will make it harder to focus. If you're good at grade 7, only grade 8 will keep you engaged. Anything too easy will also make it difficult to focus. So another key element of focus is progressive overload, making it so that you stretch yourself for just the right amount. It's why games start easy, then get progressively harder. That's the only way to keep you engaged. And to stretch yourself the right amount, this could be doing questions within your difficulty level, working with someone else that pushes you, or aiming for a slightly longer study session. And I want to emphasize that it is hard to push yourself alone, and having people around you to keep you accountable makes things much easier. And that's partly why I'm working on building a community and course for individuals who are serious about becoming productive. So click the link in the description and fill out a quick form so I can incorporate all your ideas and make the best community possible. And the final element of accessing deep focus, which makes everything easy, isn't about you at all. It's about your environment. Think about how engaged you are with a video game or working out when you are by yourself with headphones in compared to when other people are trying to speak to you. The more sensory input you get that competes with the sensory input of the work you're doing, the harder it is to stay focused on that task. So the final element is about environmental management. So that includes who is around you, as some people can distract you more and some can keep you focused. And it also includes where you are, whether you're in a library cubicle or in your room at home. You need to reproduce the conditions that give you the best focus. It includes the time of day, how much light there is, what you've eaten, how much you've slept, all of these things. It's about identifying the conditions that produce the best results and staying consistent with them. Some people work better in a library setting, others work better when it's a bit louder in a cafe. The point is, you need to figure out which environment helps you work the best so that you can start replicating that environment more for when you need deep focus. These are the 3 elements of play that create deep focus and that will make anything you do much easier. But even though you're working, you might find that you don't remember what you learn in each session, so it just feels like a waste of time even if you are focused. I used to have a problem of not retaining everything I listen to in my lectures, but over the past few years I figured out how to remember everything I study. So in this video here, I talk about how you can do the same so that you can remember everything you study, making sure you have maximum efficiency with your study sessions. So click the video to learn more.